Hey there gamers, and welcome back to the channel. It's refresh day once again in Dreamlight Valley, and we have some really exciting items in the shop this week. In today's video, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about this week's premium shop lineup, and once we're done with that, we'll dive into Dreamsnaps, where we'll be seeing my results for the Light Camera Action Dreamsnap Challenge. Following that, we'll wrap up today's video by talking about this week's new Dreamsnap Challenge, which provides an exciting opportunity to use some of our new STARPATH rewards. So I hope you're ready because we have a lot to talk about. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that I'm a small full-time content creator, so every like on this video can make a tremendous difference for me. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. If you would like to catch more of my content, you can find me live on Twitch, Monday through Friday. Links to both my Twitch channel and Discord server can be found in the video description down below. And with that out of the way, let's get started. So of course, the first thing I want to touch on today is this new AGRABAH wall set. I am so in love with this. It is kind of unique and niche. I don't think it's going to work in a lot of the biomes, but it is so nice for the glittering dunes, and I think it could also look really good on Dazzle Beach and even some of the grassy biomes. Personally, I'm a huge fan of new wall sets. Currently in my Mulan-inspired valley, I have a lot of the Magnolia Garden walls. I was absolutely in love with the Castle Night walls that came out, so I'm just excited to have even more fun, large walls to play with, and these beautiful AGRABAH walls are just so exciting. Price-wise, they're very reasonable, coming in at 1,750 moonstones. As far as what you're going to get for that price, this set comes with a total of 6 pieces. You get the AGRABAH Gate, the AGRABAH Tower, which is like a corner piece, the AGRABAH Tower and Wall, which is an end piece, the AGRABAH Tower and Double Wall, which is sort of a middle wall tower, and then you get 2 primary walls, the AGRABAH Wide Wall and the AGRABAH Narrow Wall. Essentially, the first one here is full size and the second one is half size. Now, this is something I'm really happy to see because this is something they left out on the Magnolia Garden wall that I love to use in my valley. And without a half piece, it can get really tricky to get your walls sized the right way. It's been a huge headache, so I'm really glad they fixed that in all these future wall sets. Now, as you can see, I spent a lot of time today before filming this video kind of playing with these walls, structuring them, getting a good idea of how they look and feel, and I have to say, I'm really happy with this wall set. All things considered, it's really flexible. It's not very difficult to fit around or play around some of the curves and areas of the biomes. And yeah, I love the way it looks too. I love the weathered feature where some of the sandstone is peeling away and you can see some like brick or foundation under that. And I love the blue and yellow border near the top. And I especially love the towers. These big, beautiful, bright golden towers. They're very reflective, and I think they could look really good in the background of certain snaps or just valley builds in general. As far as what I'm gonna do with all of this, currently I'm planning on rebuilding my entire oasis or my entire glittering dunes to make it like a big AGRABAH marketplace, sort of a home for Aladdin and Jasmine. So I'm absolutely thrilled that we have this new wall set because I think that's gonna be super transformative for this entire biome, at least for me. And of course, like I said, there are other places you could use this wall as well, like Dazzle Beach, or really wherever you want. Moving on to our next item, something I'm extremely excited for, we finally have Wishing Well skins. Well, I guess I should say we finally have a Wishing Well skin. So this is the first time we've been able to swap out our Wishing Well skins. And if you haven't done it yet, it's quite easy. You just need to go into furniture mode, select your well, and then choose replace. You can see it there at the bottom of my screen. Once you hit replace, you'll be able to choose between the new well and the old well. Something about this I really liked is that we will not have to purchase additional well skins from Screwed. Kind of like the Goofy stalls, whenever you unlock a new Goofy stall skin, you could use it as many times as you want. You do not have to go buy additional copies, unlike doors and some of the other items in the game. Another great benefit of this well is that it's relatively cheap. You're only talking 1,200 moonstones. Now, I know this well isn't going to work with every build. It's not going to look good everywhere, but this is the beginning of something beautiful, or at least that's how I see it. I can't wait to see what the devs do next with more well skins and additional well skins. I think they could be very transformative of some of the biomes. And one of the issues I have with wells in general is that they all have kind of the same style and they don't always fit into the build I'm trying to make. So finally being able to have some options here is huge. Now, for the sake of this video, I've also taken the time to place the new well next to one of the old wells so you can really take in the differences here. I mean, I don't really think I need to show you the old well very much. You guys have seen it a million times, but just a refresher, you know, very basic, kind of chipped down. And yeah, it's got like that white style. Looks sort of like marble or concrete. And then over here, the new well, as you can see, it's more of like a sandstone design. I love all the gold going across it. I also love the colors. You know, we have this blue and gold, which matches the walls really, really well. And then an even better thing about the well is that it's got these like vines and these little white flowers growing on it. This is just such a nice well. And like I said, I am so excited to finally be getting some wishing well skins. Like I mentioned before, I don't think it's going to work perfect everywhere, but this is the beginning of us having some flexibility with these wells, and that's really, really nice to see. The next item we're going to talk about is the Moroccan Pavilion fountain, and I think this is a beautiful fountain. I really love the tiles and the design of this fountain, but out of everything in the shop this week, if you do have to pass on just one thing, or you don't have enough moonstones for everything, I'd probably pass on this because all the other items are just that good. As much as I love this fountain, the size of it, I think, is going to be a little bit of a headache. The larger fountains can just be kind of hard to fit or place into your scenes. But I do think this fountain will look very good in the current Dreamsnap challenge. Like, I think it would look really nice in a Oasis retreat, but it's not 100% necessary. And like I said, it's kind of large, so you might not even want to include it. Of course, I do think it is a very beautiful fountain, and most of you are already familiar with it because this fountain is located in the AGRABAH realm. Now, unlike some fountain items in the game, you cannot interact with this to turn it on or off, but I don't think that's really much of an issue considering it doesn't have like a grandiose animation. You know, it's just some water trickling down. It's a very basic fountain. Moonstone price, you're talking 1,750, which is pretty standard. I think that's what all of the fountains we've received in the premium shop cost. So yeah, not much more to say about it. Like I said, if there's one item to pass on this week, I think it would be the fountain. I don't dislike it. I just don't think it's as good as the other 3 items we've received. And with that, it is time to move on to our final item, and it's this really fun cactus house. Now, I like this a lot more than I thought I would. This little house is so cute and so fun, especially these lights. This cactus fruit that's hanging off of it puts off a green glow instead of like yellow like most lights we see, and I think that's so fun. It's just so pretty. I can see this working really well in the background of certain dream snaps. It's got this big bloom on the top. It's got this little balcony with these really cute little lights up there, and of course it's surrounded by little cacti. I mean, you can see like little cactus bundles here. There's a little potted cactus here. And then on the back, you actually have a back door. So this is one of the few houses we have that has both a front door that you can access from the stairs here and a back door. And I love that these little hanging cactus fruit lights are along the back too. Matter of fact, is this the front or the back? It's kind of hard to tell. I guess this would be the front, but I think that's a good benefit of the house. No matter which way you place it, both sides can look really good as an entryway. Like, I think this side looks really good. The back looks really good. I love this light hanging here on the left-hand side if you are on the back side of the house. And then if we go around, that primary balcony looks a little bit better on this front side. But yeah, overall, beautiful house. It's only 3,000 moonstones, which is really reasonable. Just your standard moonstone pricing for most houses, unless they're really detailed or animated. And the last thing I want to talk on, something that you probably won't get to see very often because, you know, we're usually on the ground running around, or even if you're using your camera, it's not likely you're going to see a top angle of a tall house like this. But wow, this flower bloom on top is gorgeous. All of these little details, the green lights, the big bloom on top, the little cacti around the house, these are the things that kind of came together and just made me like and appreciate this house way more than I thought I would. When I saw the premium shop leaks, I knew I was gonna like it, but seeing it placed here in my glittering dunes, I have just fallen in love with it, and I can't wait to do a little build with it. In fact, on today's stream, that's probably what I'm gonna be doing, maybe throughout the rest of the week as well. I think I'm gonna be working on the glittering dunes and making like a big AGRABAH build, and then also off here in the side, I'm just gonna make like a little cactus zone to embrace our fun new cactus house. Of course, we also need to talk Scrooge shop pricing. Now, the Moroccan fountain is pretty expensive, coming in at 12,000 star coins, but I don't really see you needing too many of those. Like I said, they are rather large. And thankfully, the AGRABAH wall set is really affordable when it comes to star coins. The gate and the two major walls are only going to be 600, and each of the tower pieces is going to be 750. I loaded up on these walls today, and it did not cost me much at all in terms of star coins, so pretty nice to see that. But that's been the case with most of the walls we've received within the premium shop, and that makes sense because you're usually going to need to buy a lot of extra pieces to incorporate these into builds. With that, we've covered everything new in the premium shop this week. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these items. I'm really excited about the premium lineup this week, mainly because we finally got our first wishing well skin. I love wall sets, and the cactus house turned out much better than I expected. Let me know your thoughts on all of these new items. What is your favorite? What do you think the best value is? And is there anything you're going to pass on? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, before we dive into Dream Snaps, which by the way, I'm really excited to share my Dream Snap, we do have 2 limited time deals that I usually discuss. So Trader Sam's shop is 10% off this week. It's only 1,200 moonstones for this item, so 10% off, you're going to get this for 1,080 moonstones, the cheapest it's ever been. It's a fun item. It has a lot of detail. I think there's a lot of ways you can incorporate this into different builds. I've seen it in a lot of Dream Snaps, especially when it first came out. And for 20% off, we have the Bountiful Croc. This is a really fun and unique little companion design. He's got like this melon rind skin, and there's like all these fruits in the back here. It's a very unique companion, though it is 2,000 moonstones, but with the 20% off, this little guy's only going to be 1,600. I don't think either one of these items this week are as exciting as the new items we're getting, but if you do have some extra moonstones, this is a good deal if you don't have these items. But there's also a lot of good new stuff coming to the shop throughout this update, so might be good to save your moonstones. I don't really see the Bountiful Croc as a must-have, and while Trader Sam's shop is really cool and relatively cheap, it doesn't necessarily have the utility that a lot of these new items have. Now with the premium shop out of the way, it's time to take a look at Dream Snaps. We're going to be seeing my results for the Lights Camera Action Challenge. I had a lot of fun with this one. I did like a pirate movie, and I really enjoyed putting it together, so I hope it does well. One of my favorite things about this challenge was that there were so many different directions players could go with their movie, and I saw a lot of really fun builds. There were sci-fi movies, horror movies. A lot of people enjoyed using the new B items. So I have no idea how well received my pirate movie is going to be, but with that, I think I designed a really good avatar for this, and I'm really proud of the scene. So let's check the mail and see how we did. All right, and here it is. Looks like we got ranked 94, so just barely in the top 100 here, but I'm super excited about that, especially with how many good submissions we saw for this challenge. So let's claim these moonstones, and I'll show you the Dream Snap we put together. Okay, and here it is. This was my submission for Lights, Camera, Action. When I started putting together this scene, I noticed there were a lot of really good beach items, and that's what made me lean towards embracing a pirate build. Plus, I've done a few pirate snaps in the past, and I always enjoy putting them together. For the avatar, I tried to get him to be as close to Captain Jack Sparrow as I could, but we don't have a lot of items that work really well for Captain Jack Sparrow. We don't really have like his red bandana, but the new genie style beard is a little bit closer than any other beards in the game, so I was pretty happy about that, and I went pretty heavy on like the eyeshadow to kind of embody that character as well. As far as the scene goes, you know I had to throw Pirate Donald in there. Now when looking at decor, there's probably one thing you're noticing right away, and that's that big red lightning in the top left-hand corner. If you're curious about how I got that effect, there's an item you can get from Jafar called the Imagination Generator, and if you put it in your foreground, you can get some pretty cool little electric effects. I just thought it would make a really neat little wow factor, and that's one of the main reasons I included it. Of course, I couldn't do much decorating on the left-hand side of the Dream Snap because I wanted to use the water. I wanted to have the big ship in the background and the little pirate dinghy in the foreground. So this really limited me to focusing a lot of my decor efforts on the right-hand side, so I did the best with what I could. And as far as the foreground goes, I don't know how many people caught this when voting, but I tried to make it look like I had a jar of dirt. I put these jars here, I did the hey hey pose, the jars hid hey hey, and I also have some soil right behind my right foot here. So yeah, I don't know if anybody really caught that, but I just wanted to make a joke about the jar of dirt. I thought it would be funny. The rest of the scene is just a lot of different treasure items, and we have like a castle back there to kind of embody like an island fortress. And to play up on the fact that this was a movie scene, I used that little projector in the foreground on the right hand side, as well as these stage lights. Overall, I'm so happy that this performed well because it's one of my favorite Dreamsnap submissions. It was just really fun to build and put together, and once it was fully assembled, I was just so happy with it. So if you came across this and you liked it enough to vote for it, thank you very, very much. Now let's take a look at this week's brand new Dreamsnap challenge. So this week's challenge is called My Lost Oasis. It states transform the valley into your personal spa oasis. Whether it's a lush garden or a beachy resort, build your ideal place to relax in luxury. Our mandatory tags are calm and wondrous. Our bonus tags are Aladdin and outdoors. Okay, very interesting. Pretty cool to see the Aladdin tag in the bonus section, as I'm looking forward to seeing how people build out their oasis with the addition of these Aladdin items. Now, it's no surprise we got an oasis challenge. We typically always get some Dreamsnap challenges that coincide with the STARPATH after it's been out for a few weeks, so I'm definitely not shocked by this. I'm not sure where I'll make my oasis yet, probably the beach floating island or maybe even in the glittering dunes. I'm kind of undecided right now. I think I'm gonna have to look through the items and then I'll make up my mind. What about you though? Have you decided on where you're going to be building this lost oasis? Let me know in the comments. And with that, we've covered everything you need to know about the premium shop and Dreamsnaps for this weekly refresh. If you found today's video helpful, informative, or simply entertaining, please do me a very big favor and press that like button. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the future of Disney Dreamlight Valley.